Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Jackie. I hope you hit that subscribe button to be notified whenever I upload a new video. Hello, welcome to my October TBR. So this is going to be filled with spooky, witchy, vampire, horror, thriller, fall, all kinds of reads. I didn't come up with a fun way to do this month's TBR. I just chose it because these are the books that I want to read, but they are on theme and I'm just going to talk you through them because there is a lot of them. So grab yourself your favorite drink, maybe a fall cozy one, and let's begin today's video. I have so many books that I want to get to in October, and hopefully I do. I read 19 books in September, which is wild. I just uploaded my September reading wrap-up. If you want to see that, I'll link it down below or here on screen. Since I read so many last month, let's keep it going with this month, and I'm going to start off with all the books that I want to read on my Kindle. So my Kindle Unlimited TBR. There are some that I didn't get to last month, so I'm putting it on this month's TBR. They did come out like towards the end of September, so I'm giving myself a little break as long as I get to them this month, and I'm totally going to. I'm going to start off my month with these two books. They are not fall or anything related. They're just on my TBR, and first is Before the Sunset by Laura Pavlov. It is the fourth book in the Cottonwood Cove series. I started the series over the summer. So obsessed with all the Reynolds siblings. This follows Finn and his childhood friend Reese. So this is so much fun. I love a good fake dating, I believe this is, and their childhood friends, and this just sounds so fun. Can't wait to read Finn Reynolds' story. Then we have another book in another book series that I just started, I think in August. So the Satin Mountain series, I believe that's how you say it. And I want to read Tempt Our Faith by Kat Singleton. I read the first one, Rewrite Our Story, and that one just got me. It was a 5-star read, and I've seen a lot of reviews about the second book that it's even better, and I don't know how it's going to top the first, but hopefully it just lives up and it's another 5-star read. It is billionaire, age gap, there's like enemies to lovers, he's like grumpy, they fight, I don't know. It just sounds really interesting, and hopefully I can get to it because I really love the first book and I'm hoping I love the second one. So that's the second like Kindle book that I have on my reading list for the month. I'm just gonna pump out the series because I started so many romance book series this year. So next up we have Hopeless by Elsie Silver. This is the fifth and last book in the Chestnut Spring series, and like everyone else and their mother, I am excited about this book. I want to hear about Bo and just finishing up. I want to read it, but then again I'm like, I don't want to read it because I will be finishing the series and I've been so attached to everyone and just the characters, and yeah, I'm so excited. I know it's like Marriage of Convenience and it's like tragic hero, and I don't care, it sounds amazing. So it's going on my TBR. Even though it's not released yet, I'm totally going to read it as soon as it like arrives on my Kindle. I am going to be reading it no matter what I'm reading. I'm dropping everything. Drop everything now to read this book. I sound so excited for it. The next series I have is part of the Windy City series, and this is the third book, Caught Up by Liz Tomford. I loved Mile High and The Right Move. They were amazing reads to me. I love that series, so I can't wait for the third one. I believe it's another sports romance, and I think this one is baseball, and I think it might be single dad too. So it sounds exciting. It's coming out this month as well, so obviously I'm adding it to my TBR and going to be reading that. So a lot of romance book series in my TBR because for some reason October is just jam-packed with those kind of reads, but I'm super excited to add this one as well. I believe those are the last of the romance book series that I want to read, but there are a few more Kindle reads that I want. And the first one is Modern Girl's Guide to Magic by Lindsay Hall. I had to pull it up on my phone because I forgot what the whole title is, but this one seems exciting. There is a second book in the series as well. I don't know if I am going to read it this month. Maybe I'll read them back to back. Who knows? I mean, if I don't, it probably will be like on my TBR next October. Hopefully it doesn't end in a cliffhanger. Hopefully it's just interconnected, and if I'm feeling it, I might read it. If not, then I'm not gonna feel bad about it. I might add like their first book and the second book to my TBR this month, but I might not necessarily get to it, but who knows? You never know with me. Another Kindle book that I'm excited to read is Queen of Roses by Briar Bolin. Again, I don't know if I'm saying the author's name right. I downloaded this on my Kindle on Stuff Your Kindle Day, and I'm doing the A through Z challenge in my own time, and I need a book with the letter Q, so I thought this one sounded interesting, and it was like fall vibes. I know nothing about this book. I downloaded it for fun. The cover looked fun. The title looked interesting. I have no idea what it's about, so you'll find out with me when I start this book, if I start this book this month, but it looks interesting. That's all I can say. I'm judging the book by its cover. Another KU read is King of Battle and Blood by Scarlett St. Clair. And I just saw this on Book Talk one day. Someone that I follow was recommending it, and I believe it just has vampires in it. Honestly, I don't know anything about this. Again, going in blind, it just feels right for fall and feels good to read in October, so I'm adding it. I've heard good things about this author. She writes amazing books. I don't know what she's written, but I'll find out after reading this book. I believe that's the last book that I want to read on my Kindle/Kindle Unlimited. I do have one book, but I actually have the physical copy as well, so I love tandem reading it. I did buy some of the books that I could read as well on here. This is The Court of the Vampire Queen by Katie Robert, and I bought this last year and I never got around to it. It's the Barnes & Noble exclusive. I don't know what's the deal. I think it has like pretty illustrations. Again, have no idea what this book is about, but it involves vampires, and I feel like I need to read some vampire books in the month of October, right? So yeah, looking at the back, it does sound interesting. Half human, half vampire catches my eye. So whatever this is about, I'm excited to read it, and I don't know when I'm going to get to it, but hopefully soon, because it's been on my TBR for a while. But good thing I can read it on both formats. Speaking of spooky books, I picked out a lot of witchy rom-coms. So I bought so many last year, and I read so many last year, but I bought more, and this is the perfect time. Catch this reading vlog. I'm going to be doing a witchy rom-com reading vlog. So hard for me to say, but here we have all the books. I'm just gonna go through them. They all involve a witch, have magic, all that fun stuff. The first one on this stack is Not Your Ex's Hexes by April Asher. This is the second book in the series. I believe it's called like Supernatural Sisters or something like that. I read the first book last year, really liked it, so I can't wait for this one. I know they're triplets and they like go with an alpha male. Well, that was the first one. I'm not sure what the second one really is about, but I'm excited to find out more about the sisters, and just the cover looks so amazing. Next one, we have A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. Again, so interesting. Witches, demons, love all the magical vibes, so we have that one. Then we have What the Hex by Jessica Clare. I read the first one last year. I believe the first one is Go Hex Yourself, and I really enjoyed that one. So looking forward to reading this one. This one is definitely going to be read this year since I loved the first one so much last year. Then we have What You Gonna Do by Avery Flynn. Again, witchy. I don't know what they're about. They just have witches and magic in them. Then we have a series that it has, I think, 4 or maybe 5 books, and I don't think I'm going to get to them. This is Payback's a Witch by Lana Harper. I just hear good things about these books, and they're like so magical and whimsy, and it just sounds amazing. So we have that, and then we have 2 books right here. Again, as I said, Don't know if I'm gonna get to them, but we have The Witch Haven by Sasha Payton Smith, and then the second one, The Witch Hunt. So they look amazing. I hope I can get to the first one. If like this ends on a cliffhanger or I really need to read the second one, then I have it available. I just bought it. So yay, I have that series, and I don't know what it's about. It's just magical witches. Again, I really should have like looked these up, but sometimes I just want to go into a book blind. All I know is about witches. It's about something magical, or it has something that I'm interested in, and I'll pick it up. The next one I'm super excited for. I'm going to be doing a reading vlog on this as well, and hopefully I can get to it because it is very hyped up, and it is the Caraval series by Stephanie Garber. I am going to be good, and I'm going to read this trilogy first before the Once Upon a Broken Heart series, and I know the third one is coming out the end of October, and I heard the second book ends in a cliffhanger. I do own the two books, which is... Are they behind me? Yes, they are right here. I own this special edition, like Barnes & Noble versions, and I'm gonna go get the third one at the end of the month. And then hopefully if I finish the Caraval series, I can start the 3 books in November, and it's just gonna be a wild ride. I am looking forward to this. It has like a carnival, and I love carnival vibes, and like it's magical, fairy tale, and I've heard good things about this series. So I'm looking forward to reading Caraval, Legendary, and Finale, and then we'll jump into the spin-off series. And I heard that Jax is like a great character, or I've seen stuff. I haven't been spoiled, thank goodness, but I've seen stuff about it, how it's like so magical and fun, and it's a great read, and it becomes your personality. And Divine Rivals and Fourth Wing, I cannot stop thinking about them. So hopefully this series gives me those vibes as well. So I haven't opened that series. I bought it last year, but we're gonna open it in the reading vlog and read it together. There are just so many good books on my TBR this month. I don't know if I'm going to get to them, but we're gonna try our best. So we have 4 more books on my TBR. If I get to them, I get to them. If I don't, I don't. One of them I really want to get to, and then the rest, it's just there in the background. If I get to it, I get to it. They're not essentially like fall reads. So I picked this up last month. It is In My Dreams I Hold a Knife by Ashley Winstead, and I heard this is like dark academia. I'm not sure if I should read it or wait and do a like dark academia themed vlog, but I bought it because it sounded interesting. It's like a whodunit mystery as well in a dark academia setting. I haven't dipped my toes in that genre, so this would be like perfect to start with, I feel like. So if I get to this one, great. If not, then we still have more time to read more books. I will eventually get to it, but I am excited for this one. I've heard so many great things about this book. Then we have a horror book. I had to add a horror book. I don't think I have any thriller books. I did those last month, so I feel like this month should have a horror book. I picked Stephen King's Pet Sematary. So I was going to buy this at Barnes & Noble on my trip last month, but I found a copy at a used bookstore for $3, so why not? Just bought it today. I'm so excited to read it. I love the movie, so hopefully I like the book, and it's not going to be spoiled for me. I know what happens since I watched the movie. I watched the classic one and the like remake one that was made like a few years ago now, and I like the classic like 80s one better. I think it's in the 80s, whatever. The first classic, Pet Sematary, me and my cousin watched it all the time when I used to live with him, and we just watched it for some reason every like October maybe, I don't know, but it's a really good movie. So hopefully I enjoy the book. So I'm glad that I went to the used bookstore and picked it up. As I mentioned, I just got back home from book shopping, and I picked up more to add to my TBR and to my October TBR. So I have Wildfire by Hannah Grace and Maybe Meant to Be by K.L. Walther. So Wildfire is the second book in the, what is this series called? A Maple Hills novel. So the Maple Hills series maybe is what it's called. But the first book is Icebreaker. I read it the first of the year. Like everyone else, I enjoyed it. I liked it. It was a fun read. So I can't wait to see more of the characters from that universe in this book. So if I don't get to it, hopefully I can get to it next month, because I think like it's a pretty fall theme book, right? I don't know. As I said, I don't know anything about it. I just read the first one and I tend to buy the second book not knowing what the second one is about. So I picked that up. Then I got Maybe Meant to Be, and I just finished What Happens After Midnight. I really like that, and you can hear more about that in my September reading wrap up. And I love the covers of her books. All of them are just so aesthetic and pretty, and they're just fun. So again, don't know what this one is about. I didn't know What Happens After Midnight was about. I still enjoyed it, so hopefully this is the same there. So that is the last book, I believe, in what I want to read in October. I'm looking at the big book pile around me, and it doesn't seem that many, but I know I have a lot on my Kindle as well. And like, these books are going to take me a while. I say that there's not many, but knowing me, I'm not going to finish all of these. Also, I'll be filming a lot of reading vlogs about a lot of these books, and I'm also doing Vlogtober, which is just a like mini vlog series that I'm starting on my channel. I do it like sometimes every October. I try to anyway, so it's just like my weekly vlog that I call Vlogtober. So I might pick up one of these books there and you can see me reading it, but overall that is everything that I want to read this month. Let me know if you have any of these books on your TBR and if you're excited to get to any of them, and let me know your thoughts. I'm going to go now. I'm going to grab my Kindle and I am going to read Tempt Our Faith. I will link everything that I mentioned down below in the description, as well as my book talk and my bookstagram. Those are linked if you want to see more content from me from other platforms. And there you have it. That was my rather chatty October TBR video. I do hope you enjoyed watching. Please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll talk to you in my next video. Bye everyone! Am I going to successfully lift my TBR this month? Oops. It didn't fall. Just like my September reading wrap up, they didn't fall. I'm going to jinx myself now. Let me put it down.